Hello, guys. Welcome. I'm super excited to be here today. Super excited for today's guest. So welcome to Live with Jacqueline Valdez. We are talking about awesome hacks for everyday life, which I'm super excited about. And I'm super honored to have our next guest. And he has a special surprise. Welcome, Chris Parker.
Hi, how are you guys doing? So this is Diesel. Diesel said he wanted to get some camera moment as well, so he decided to join in last minute.
Oh my gosh, I love him. He is so precious.
Yes.
So cute. So how are you doing today, love?
I'm doing well. I'm surviving. We're still in the middle of, this COVID, but hopefully everything will kind of, go away soon. We just got done with the inauguration yesterday. So it's just a beautiful time. I feel like it's a beautiful time. A lot of history that's played out this year and last year.
Right, for sure. I agree. I know. I feel like today is such a different day from yesterday. There's so much more peace, calmness. It feels like there's a new start.
Exactly.
Yeah, which is exciting. Yeah. So you have some awesome things. I was looking at your Instagram and all the stuff that you've been doing, and you are just so happy, and you are just so stylish and have so many awesome tips and gems.
Thank you so much. I feel like, right now I love that I'm able to kind of share, my lifestyle tips and also just my journey in general on my platforms, including my blog. And, I feel like having the social media is really cool, but, I also want to be able to inspire people in person as well.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah. Yes, I love that so much. And you are a huge inspiration. And I love that you're using your platform to make a difference and to, share knowledge to.
Exactly. There's only one thing to do. We can be on this earth and, we can look great and all this other stuff. Like you can take amazing photos. You can go to all the hottest events. You can have the nicest bags, nicest cars. But it's like, what was your impact at the end of the day?
Yes, amen. I love so huge on making an impact, especially the last year, falling in the journey too, and into my purpose. And it just makes yeah. So so talk about some of your tips that you have. Where did you even begin with these?
I came up with the tips and tricks like that just because I've had a very, I would say, blessed career where I've been able to kind of work on lots of different sides of the industry, whether it was the management side, the production side, and then the talent side. And so with that, and then also working with companies and brands varying from, technology to beauty and fashion, you pick up these little tricks and tips along the way. Because I'm a person, I love to learn. I'm always asking questions. That's something I used to do always, even as a child. I used to talk. My mom would be like, you go a mile a minute. All you just talk. And I would always ask questions. And I think in my adulthood, it's the same thing. I'm always asking questions. I'm always looking to learn something new. And I just love to share that knowledge that I learned because there's so much knowledge out there. And I like to sift through all of the, the knowledge that you don't really need per se, and give you the direct knowledge that you do need. That's like a golden nugget that you wish you would have known 5 years ago or 2 years ago, or whether it was in your business career or in your personal life.
Wow, I love that. Yeah, so it's taken you a while to come up with all of these amazing things.
Yes.
Wow, that's so exciting. Yeah, and you do things. So it's not just fashion. Like you said, you cover everyday life, you cover relationships, you cover business and everything.
Yes, everything. I mean, that's all firsthand experience as well. I don't want to be like, the expert in this, dating expert, tech expert, any of these things like that. But at the end of the day, it's like with life comes wisdom, and also with the experience comes wisdom. And I've had the chance to kind of go through a lot of experiences, live multiple lives. And with that, I've gained so much knowledge. And I've also, listened to the elders, and I take their knowledge in. And when friends are going through relationship issues, people are always very comfortable with talking to me. So they always tell me everything. And so just based off their experiences and then like my own personal experiences, I combine that information all together and kind of just like help cultivate. But also in business, it's like, I'm a business entrepreneur, and I have like my lifestyle brand, truthblock.com. And every day there's something new that I'm learning. Every day there's something new I'm learning. Every day there's a new marketplace, or there's a new app that, just made my business make 2% more revenue that I didn't know about. Like, so every day there's something that I'm learning. There's, just different things that I'm learning with the ROIs and stuff like that. And I want to share that information because I wish that I had that information, 6 months ago, 2 years ago, like whatever it may have been. So I just, I go through a lot of experiences and I document it and I let people know, hey, this may have happened to me. And surely enough, once you talk about it, you realize that, hey, someone that in your life is going through something very similar, whether it's a business issue, a personal issue, a health issue, and it kind of helps them in a way, not only from like a success standpoint, but also just from a humanity standpoint, and also just a feel-good standpoint.
That's so true. It's so funny how you do have these conversations with people and you do find out that more people have these same situations going on.
Exactly. Life, we're all going through it in our journey. And I think the biggest thing for everyone right now is just to be a little bit more transparent. I think transparent. We all want to look like our lives are perfect. Everyone's afraid of being too vulnerable. But I think that is the problem. I think everyone's so afraid of being vulnerable and that they're only portraying like this perfect image that there's a disconnect, and it's also creating a overlaps in everyone else's depression, anxiety, and their self-worth in their internal.
Yeah, it's very true. Social media is very misleading. There's a lot of the positive side, but you don't see the real stuff going on, the hustling, the depression, the struggles.
Yeah, exactly.
And I love that you're bringing that to light and you're using your platform. There's a lot of people that could use their platform in a different way, and you're using it to bring it forth and to let people know it's okay. Show your vulnerability yourself. Be 100.
Keep it 100. Exactly.
I love it. Yes, and I love your little doggy.
Yes, Diesel is a star of his own. This is Diesel Takes Hollywood. He's literally, he's been with all of the celebrities. They literally just come and they ask him, can they borrow him? They borrow him for a day or two. Diesel is literally, no one asks about me anymore. They always ask about Diesel. So Diesel is, a little starlet himself. He would have been dressed had I known he wanted to do a cameo, but I didn't know, right as I was waiting for the show to go air, he hopped back up here and he was like trying to get out of his room. So I was okay, Diesel, come on.
But yeah, like, I'm ready. How long have you had him?
I've had Diesel since September.
Oh,
Since September. So yeah, he's my little son that I didn't know that I needed or wanted. But here we are now, a few months in, and I just love him. He's such an attention, he wants to be in the camera. Every time I pull him down, he's like, let me get back in the camera.
I love it so much. So yeah, you said that you brought him with you to some events. Have you been able to still do some events with COVID and quarantine going on?
Yes and no. I've gone to maybe since COVID, I've been to maybe four events. But they were very, very private events, and they were also, required that we did do COVID testing. So I did go to a few events, and they were industry events. So it wasn't just, for leisure and just having fun. It was also for business. I think that's another thing. I did get a little bit backlash a couple times when I did go to events, via social media. And I think what people also have to realize is that at the end of the day, especially for people that are entrepreneurs and independent employed, at the end of the day, you still have to keep your business running. So if, me going out to an event here and there, in the purpose of keeping my business up and going, I have to do that because they have to keep the lights on. And someone has to feed Diesel. Do you see this? He is not cheap to feed. He's expensive. Okay. He's expensive. If you see his wardrobe collection, you'd know.
I love it. It's so true though. When you have, your business, you really have to continue pushing and keep going through. You can't stop.
And networking, especially for my business, is all about networking. And I have to keep that kind of component to my business, because if not, there's no work, and there's already so little bit of work now. Typically right now in a year, I would have probably done maybe 30 panels, for different brands, doing like live discussions and, or speaking on like lifestyle tips or fashion, and that's like a huge chunk of like my income for the year. And so now that that's all gone, people don't think about that stuff. And it's like, I want to be, I've been very safe, and I've also have lost people, and I know people that have lost people due to COVID. So I don't take it lightly at all. I feel like this is a very, very serious issue. But at the same time, I'm going to do my part and actively do the things that I can do, and also stay on top of my testing, and also still get out there if I do need to go to an industry event that's 30 people and under, and it's invite only, and it's outdoors, and whatever, all those things like that. I'm going to definitely make those leaps and do those things.
Yeah, like you said, take the leap, and really just finding the balance of still running your business, but being safe and still being considerate of yourself and others.
Exactly.
Have you noticed that with quarantine going on, networking is so different? And what tip would you give for someone who doesn't want to leave the house or can't leave the house, but they still want to be able to network in the industry?
Yes. So right now I have recognized, because I have like my marketing and branding company, and a lot of our clients, what we've learned has been very, very successful for them, or for us to get them on, was Clubhouse. And so Clubhouse is, some of our clients, they've generated, 2,000 new followers in the course of 2 weeks.
Wow.
And so that's a lot, especially for Instagram.
Yeah.
Because now with the Instagram engagement, it's so hard to get followers. And so that's a huge, huge, huge engagement rate to achieve. There's some people that have had Instagram for like 10 years, 5 years, 8 years, and still don't have that many followers. So I would definitely say Clubhouse is very good, because they have the different group chats, and you can decide and search for the ones that resonate to you and your business, and you can kind of cultivate a conversation and start those conversations and directly connect with those people that are not regularly available, such as Grant Cardone, some of the cast members from Shark Tank, different people like that. I've even seen some rooms where there are venture capitalists, and they are letting people pitch their business ideas, and whatever idea they like the most, they're giving them $5,000. And I've seen that. So I think that Clubhouse would definitely be a good place for people to go and connect and network on. And then also, I think another place would be LinkedIn. I think that's another place that a lot of people don't look to go and network on. I mean, they do, but it's usually people that work in corporate America, and not traditionally people that are self-employed and or creatives. And so I feel like now more than ever, these, big corporate companies, their CFOs, their CEOs, their marketing directors, all those people are now working from home. They are more likely to see your emails that you're going to send them, because they're not on a day-to-day, work hustle at the office. They're not being bombarded by that many more emails these days. So I feel like just take advantage of the time that you do have, because COVID's not here forever. And once you take that leap on doing things different, you will get different results.
Yes, amen. And it's so funny that you mentioned those two sites, because I just got recently introduced to Clubhouse from someone in the industry, and she was like, "Why are you not on there? You need to be on there. Go on there now." And just hearing people are either buying a lot of Instagram followers is what has been happening a lot, and now shifting to the Clubhouse platform. And then LinkedIn, I'm so used to it being more business and New York style type stuff, Market Street type stuff. Yeah. So good tips. I love it. We're going to do this.
The thing about it right now is that Clubhouse is still in the beta. It's still in the beta testing right now. So it is invite only, but there are, you can ask your friends that may have just gotten on, hey, do you still have your invite? Because every person that gets invited on gets one invite. And then the more active you get on the platform, the more you'll get an additional invite, or 2 more additional invites, or 3 more additional invites. And really try to get on there, because I do feel like the early adapters always, in my opinion, always win, especially in the technology world.
Okay, that's very cool to know. Wow, goodness gracious. So much knowledge. I love it so much. So those are incredible networking tips. So as far as business tips, to get clients to come into your store, or to come into your business through online classes, a lot going on. What tips would you give someone there, or what little, small bit of advice that you can give?
So the question was, how do I get people to join how do I get people to get more customers?
More clients. Yes. More clients, more customers.
Yeah. Well, I just think it goes back to whichever, it doesn't matter what product you're selling. In my experience, you could be selling technology. You could be selling a service. You could also just be selling, a feel good. I have friends that they literally just sell motivation classes where they literally just go and talk in front of a camera, and they sell those motivation classes that they, and people subscribe to them monthly. I think at the core of all of these things goes back to human connection, right? And having that connection and having that relatability and also that connection with your clients. So what I've noticed that's very, very effective for my business when it comes to like my marketing and branding company is that all of our clients, we send them cards out during the holidays. We also follow up with them during emails, making sure that they're happy, because we want to make sure that if they're not happy, that we address that. And there's some people, they just provide a service and they're like, okay, I want to just do this service and not care if the customer is okay or happy with it, because I don't want it to take up more time out of my day. So they won't ask you any follow-up questions. They'll just hope that you won't email them or call them about something. But we do it the opposite approach. In addition to that, another thing I've noticed that's very effective that also is linked to that is that with my lifestyle brand, with our customers, what we do is we send out emails, and I personally type these emails up myself, and I'll ask them questions like, hey, what do you guys think about, this new design I'm thinking about adding to the brand? Or what do you guys think about me adding candles to the line? Like, do you think this would be a great thing? What are notes that you guys like? Do you guys like exotic wood? Do you like floral scents? Do you like more of a masculine scent? What are your scents? And it surprisingly becomes a conversation. And now those people are now more invested in the brand because they are a part of the process. And I think that at the core of any business, I think that you should take away the idea and concept that they are just a customer or a client, but that they are also a family, essentially, especially for, an independent company like an agency. Most of my clients now, like a lot of people don't even know that I do marketing and branding as a business. And I've been doing it for years now. And they don't even know I do it as a business, but I literally send out 0 emails. I literally do any promotion online, like, hey, can I be your client? Can you be my client? It's all word of mouth. So it's all been referral based, and no client is going to refer you to another client if they're not happy. So I think the base of everything is just have quality work, follow up on your customers or your clients, and add that human component to it, because that is something that's lacking that we're also yearning for. And the fact that there is less human interaction. Just before COVID, there's less human interaction. Everything's about emails, subscriptions, and automated text message. There's no real person calling you and saying, hey, I seen that your bag got delivered today. Did you receive it? Do you like it? What do you think about it? You don't see that. And I think that the fact that that is not there anymore, that people want that experience now. So just kind of incorporating those old school business models, I really think. And then also, look at some of these companies that really grew fast in their time. And I think in everything, time repeats itself, whether it's fashion, business models. Like, for example, look at Clubhouse. Clubhouse is growing right now. Clubhouse is essentially like the old AOL Messenger, but instead of the group chats, now it's group voice chats. Same formula, just a different medium, right? So it's the same formula. And so look at that. So like right now, I'm helping my sister right now with her business. Actually, she lost her job, and I was like, okay, we need to help you. You just had a child, like, let's do something, like, and she wanted to do a business at one point. She just didn't know what she wanted to sell. So, for her Christmas present, I invested in her inventory, invested in her marketing materials. My company, we produced her commercial, all this stuff. And we launched her boxes, and they are basically style boxes where you get $100 worth of fashionable merchandise for $20. Well, fashion and beauty merchandise for $20. And now I'm telling her, what you should do now is you should sell the boxes to other people at like a wholesale, where you sell it to them for $10 and they can resell them at how much ever they want. So kind of using like the Mary Kay formula a little bit,
Yeah.
And it's like, that's a formula that has worked. Why can it not work? It's a similar process. Then she will take away that overhead and that idea. So she would no longer be selling products directly to consumers. She would only be selling business to business. So and they can mark it up. They can mark the price up to how high they want to.
I love it. That's smart. Yeah. Be inspired by other successful business owners and companies and create your thing kind of following that. Yeah.
Yes. That's awesome. Exactly. Because everything comes back around in the circle. Everything.
Yes, that's so true. I am noticing that, especially with recently.
Yes, everything comes back.
I love it. So tell us about your marketing and your business.
Yes. So, I have my marketing and brand agency. And initially how that came about is, me being kind of like in the scene of everything. I had a lifestyle and fashion magazine, and I still have it right now, FOM magazine. And it grew really big at the time when, in the time that it was when it first came around, which is, I forgot what year it was now. I mean, it's been so long. But it grew really big in our city and the Midwest. And this is back when I still lived in Minneapolis, and it grew really popular. So when, Macy's would have Glamorama shows, or the MLB, they would have their All-Stars event, or there was like a huge celebrity coming to town and doing a performance. Right. We had that voice. And so we would get first dibs at doing interviews with these celebrities and getting, these connections with these managers from like these huge places like New York and Los Angeles. Now I live in Los Angeles, but at the time it was such a big deal. And I feel like now, celebrities are a little bit more accessible than they were at that time. So it was like a big deal. And I had so many friends that were talented, and no matter what they do, whether it was in tech, graphic design, or fashion. And I'm like, well, you should connect with this manager. You should connect with Lady Gaga's manager. I met him. I think you would be great with. And it became like a full circle moment where I was just connecting people, and it became a full-time job. And I'm like, okay, I need to turn this into like a business.
That's smart.
Yes. And so at the time, I was in school at the time for business management. My business partner was in school at the time for communications, and we decided to like kind of join together, these young kids, and we worked together, and we decided to create this company where she was doing the PR and I was doing the creative branding and marketing. And from there, we just grew it, and we had a full-time website developer, we have full-time video editor, we have full-time SEO writer. So and we're no longer partners anymore, but it was just a learning process. But at the core of all of it was me wanting everyone to be great at their business, and to provide those services not at a crazy rate, but at a reasonable rate where they can afford it, but also people that needed direction. Because some of these bigger companies can be very, very, very intimidating to go to. So you could go to a bigger company, and the bigger companies are like, you know what, you need $10,000 just for us to talk to you. Not even, not even to do the retainer, but just to talk to us. Yeah. And so I wanted to kind of really take that out of the conversation and put more independent people and make them more leaders in their careers. And so that's been fun. I've been doing it. I've been growing it. And, at the beginning of COVID, it got really scary because I had lost a lot of clients on my marketing and branding side of business because COVID, everyone was like, well, do we market right now? Is anyone purchasing anything? Like, what do we do? Like, do we need this service? Do we need them to create content? Do we need, all these things? So it went on hold. And then what else went on hold was my contracts when it came to brand ambassadoring for brands that I work with. So I was like, oh, okay. So what do we do? And it really forced me to put energy into my lifestyle brand, which is Truth Black, which I had already had, but I wasn't going full throttle as I could have been going. And so I'm glad that I'm doing that now because, at the beginning of the brand, the goal was, how do you make $25 a day? Yeah. Then after that was, how do you make $50 a day? And then it was like, how do you make $100 a day? And every day, every time I get to my new goal, I'm like adding more to it. So now I'm at the goal of doing $200 a day. And so it's a build up, And so if you can do $200 a day, you should be able to do $2,000 a day. If you keep that same idea, okay, I've been able to conquer how to make this. How do I make that? And you keep just flipping it. And so I think, that's what's really going on for me right now. We've recently, my agency has picked up a lot of new clients with this COVID surge and people not knowing if COVID's ever really going to go away. Essentially, people have really stepped into their ownership and it has kind of pushed them into their ownership as well to start their own businesses because they don't know what they're going to get. They don't know if they're going to get another stimulus check of $600 anytime soon. So they're like, let me take my money and invest it so that way I can support myself with my own means. And I think it's very commendable. It's a very scary process. Yeah. Nothing is easy. But for me personally, when it comes to, I do the best when I'm under pressure. And I think that more people need to get uncomfortable in order to get comfortable.
Yes, I love that. That's such a beautiful statement. And it's so true because so much can come out of being uncomfortable. You push yourself, you challenge yourself, you learn to pivot and go with what is meant to be, what you're meant to really do. It's, funny how the universe works that way.
Exactly. So there's a silver lining behind everything. Just at the core of all of it, I really hate that, we've lost so many people with this COVID. And I hate that there's so many businesses that have been lost to this as well. There's a lot of hardworking Americans out there, such as myself, such as yourself. And we put our all into our businesses and our brands and things like that. And just at, no moment's notice, actually, everything can change. And everything that we built up for, everything that we, put our time into to build up, our restaurants getting closed, our photography studios getting closed, everything's getting closed. There's, and it's like, who's going to help you? When you don't qualify for those SBA grants or, these different things like that, how do you tell someone that, hey, your 10 years of growing your business means nothing?
Yeah. Yeah. And I went through that recently with my dance studio. I applied for multiple things and I did not get any help. And so it's been a constant hustle and just pivoting and maneuvering and finding new ways to be creative and take advantage of the social media and take advantage of the skills that I do have.
Exactly. And that's what it's all about. It's all about turning, I know it sounds so corny, but turning lemons into lemonade. So it really is about that, because this may be, for everyone, the thing that pushed you out of your comfort, may be the thing that's going to bring you to your bigger next level of success.
Yes, next level. I love it. So much so. So how do you manage yourself centered and, able to handle all the multiple roles that you do?
I really would say that it just really comes, it really comes down to, I think, just time management. For me, something that I invested in during Black Friday, which I was so against, to be honest with you, I was so against the little Alexas and the Google dots and stuff like that. I was so against those things because I was like, it's all like a ruse. It's all something that's going to take your information and, all that stuff. I was so scared. But do you hear now?
Yes.
Yeah, reminding me. See, perfect example. Thank you, Alexa. Perfect example. She's reminding me to take Diesel out to potty. She's reminding me to take Diesel out to potty. And so here's this moment where, Alexa's reminding me to take my puppy out to go and potty. And that's cool. And I remember, so what else I would do with Alexa's, I'll have her remind me to go and work out. I'll have her to remind me to grab this from the grocery store, and it's connected to my phone. And it's been very, very effective for me, even for business, because I have so many things. And typically what I do is I will just put my things on my notepad. I'm very traditional when it comes to that. I'll do it on my notepad, or I'll do it on my iCloud notepad. And that's what keeps me centered. That, and just also just kind of having a great team that works as well with me, and just being a leader for that team, because a team is nothing without leadership. And so I find myself putting so much effort and work into the leadership side of things when it comes to follow up, checking in, all this other stuff. That's okay, wow, this is a lot of work. And leadership is not an easy thing, especially when you're trying to grow a company. There's so many steps in roles that comes with it, and there's a process chain when it comes to that. And so I've just been very blessed to be able to kind of hone in on what's my daily task. Another thing that I think that's been very effective is we all have a to-do list, right? Where it's okay, I have to do this, I have to go and renew my insurance, I have to go and do this, I have to go pay this credit card bill, I have to go and follow up with this company I ordered something offline from and I never got. I have to go and call my mom, check up on her. I have, all these things that we have to do.
Right.
But I think it's more effective, instead of trying to do all those things in one day, it's more effective to dedicate one day to one of those big tasks. And that way you'll get it completely done, because you'll find yourself halfway doing it and then you need to follow up and, just get it all done in that one day. So I think that's been very effective. Yeah. But Google Assistant and the Alexa, honestly, has been a lifesaver. I got it from Black Friday, like 30. I know I didn't pay more than $40 for it. And it's just the Google little dot, or not Google dot, but the Alexa dot or whatever it's called. And literally saves my life with everything. Now, is she spying on me? Probably yes. Can she tell you everything about me? Probably yes. But listen, what do you want? Do you want to be productive and successful, or do you want privacy? Because privacy doesn't really exist anymore.
True. I am so inspired, and I'm going to have to get me one so that way I can multitask. There's times too where I'm going to have to take the tip that you said of not doing things in one day and just doing a few things each day and really going through that list and conquering it and getting it done.
Yeah, exactly. Because there's so much follow up in these little things that we do, and it's like, oh, you have to send an email to follow up with them after you got the phone with them, So just get all that stuff done in that one day, and that those one or two things done in that one day, and you'll be more productive throughout the week.
Yes, I love it. More productive. That's the important part. So what things do you have coming up for you in the future?
There's a lot of things. I have a book that I've been working on that was supposed to come out a while back ago, and I just kind of put a hold on it because I really want to give the most information. I also want this book to be timeless, and I want anyone, no matter what part of their life journey that they're in, to be able to take this book and run with it. So it's kind of a lifestyle help book, but it's a little bit of everything, kind of like me. So I really want the book to have little mini chapters that touch base on everything, and it does. And right now we're like at 29 chapters, but I wanted to go back into revision and re-editing it because I don't want to put something out there half done. And that's one thing about me is that anything I put my name on, I always put passion into it, and I always put work ethic into it, because I feel like, okay, I can go and do this and put out a book and, get followers to go and buy it and, make a few, thousands of dollars, whatever it may be. But I'm not in it for the money. But once you do stuff the right way and it's a genuine way, you'll notice that the money will just come to you. You don't have to do these things. And so I want the book to be really, 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 I want it to be like an heirloom, essentially. I want it to be something that everyone can pass down from generation to generation. And I want it to be something that's going to be very, very impactful. So I have that. Also, my Big XL Life, which is my YouTube reality TV series that my audience was asking to see. We are in the process of filming more episodes of that. It's been very hard, obviously, due to COVID, because no one wants to see me in my house all day long. With the show, you were able to see me go to Fashion Week. You were able to see me go to client meetings. You were able to see my life, but now my life kind of consists of things like this over the computer. So right now we're just editing the format of it and how that could really be displayed and still make it interesting. So working on that, and then just my lifestyle brand, truthblack.com, redeveloping that more. And then also I'm getting ready to launch another media site, which I'm really excited about. I currently have my media sites, fommag.com and slaystyle.com. And then I'm getting ready to launch another one, which everyone's going to love. I'm not going to tell you yet. We're going to save it, but it's going to be very, it's a health website. It's a health and beauty website. And I'm really excited about it. So we're in the final stages of the design of the website. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Very simple things, simple life things. I'm taking it one day at a time, obviously. And I think also too, it's just also being there for my baby, which is my puppy, Diesel, and helping develop him as well, because, we have a very interesting bond. When I first got him, we did not connect at all. And he was very scared of me and these different things like that. And then kind of just the whole way about me, getting him, which is a very interesting story, but I won't bore you with that. But to now be in this place now, they say people look like that dogs look like their owners, and we don't look alike. He's a tiny dog, I'm a big guy, but we have some interesting traits. So we both have allergies. Aww. And my allergies are seasonal, and so are his. Well, I'm assuming his are as well. And he will sneeze, or at the same time I'll sneeze, and we'll sneeze at the same time. It's so cute. Aww. So just developing him more and putting energy into stuff that really just brings me happiness. I think 2020 really taught me, money is great, financial success is great, but at the end of the day, are you happy? Were you happy? are you making impact? And I already knew these things, and I already asked myself these questions throughout life, but I think it became even more prevalent throughout this throughout the 2020 pandemic, and going into 2021. And so I think that that's kind of where I'm at with, as far as things that I'm working on. I'm just working on making a better me.
I love it so much. I have so much respect for you for doing that and for really finding your voice and finding your vision and really come forth to your mission. And I can relate as far as, 2020, finding my voice and finding how I'm going to impact the world and how I'm going to make a difference. And I love your little fur baby. I used to have a little fur baby that was a small dog, and he just recently passed away, but he was 21 years old.
Okay.
He lived a long life. Yes. Hello, Zamara. Thank you for tuning in. Yeah. So I totally understand. Love the fur babies.
Yes. They're so cute. They're so cute.
Yes. Yes. And it would not bore me to tell me your story, how you met him, how you got him. A little tidbit.
No, it was, so basically it was just through a friend. And I had always wanted a dog, but I just didn't know if at the moment I was ready for a dog. And so, it's just, Diesel came into my life at a very unexpected time, but he came into my life at a needed time because, there is a lack of companionship. There's a lack of communication with people, different things like that. So he came in my life at a good time. In hindsight, looking back at him, and I didn't know how expensive dogs were. Dogs are expensive. Like, their vet appointments, their shots. I'm like, I have a real child, like an actual child. But just me being the fast-paced life person that I am, that is one thing that I do, worry about. And I do, concern myself with is that, hey, once this COVID business is gone and you're back into full, throttle of you and out there and traveling and, in Morocco on a camel and, this is not, where's your baby going to be? So I do question and ask myself those things, but, we do have a really good bond. So.
Yes. And you just have so much love and you're such a beautiful person that it's just makes sense that you guys connected. So thank you. Is there anyone that you want to do a special shout out to?
I just want to do a special shout out to everyone. To be honest with you, there's no one in particular. I just want to give a shout out to everyone that is actively doing it. That's one thing I wanted to say. I want to give a shout out to everyone that's actively doing it. And I do know a list of people, but to go down the list we'd be here. It's a good 23 people. And everyone that's doing it, it's not an easy job to step into your inner boss or your inner ownership of you or your brand or your business. And so I think I know a lot of friends or associates that at the beginning of before COVID, they're like, oh, I think it's so amazing that you're able to like do your own business and you've been able to do your business, like work for yourself for like the last 7-8 years, blah, 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 blah. Like I wish I could do that. I just wish I didn't have to work. Like if I didn't have to work and I had like income still and I would be able to make a business successful, da, da, da. And then here comes Corona. And then some of these same people were getting, $20,000-$30,000 in like unemployment. This is not, putting anybody's business out there, but getting that. And instead of them taking that and investing into their business, they're, out in Tulum, they're going to Turkey, they're going to this, they're going to that, they're buying those Balenciaga shoes, they're buying the LV bags, da, 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 da. And so I think it was a real test to people that say they want it and the people that really want it. And so all those that are actively doing it, you may not see the success in the moment, but you are setting those milestones in the process of the success. So I want to give a shout out to all those people that are doing it. And it may feel like you're not making any progress. Trust me, I know what it feels like, but keep it going and things will start to work out in your favor.
I love it. Keep it going.
Yes.
What is it that you want to be remembered for?
I think honestly, what I want to just be remembered for is just a person that has just been authentic and also someone that is authentic, but also very, I don't want to say the word real, but someone that's authentic and transparent and also had impact. Growing up, I talked about this in one of my last interviews. Growing up, I didn't see a lot of people like myself in a place of light, right? Or as far as like public light or, on a TV or even on a podcast or even on a radio show, I didn't hear, if they weren't a rapper or a singer, they didn't really get that much placement or anything like that. So I think I want to just show every girl and boy, whether brown, black, or even white, every person, that no matter what it is, if it's something that you want to do, you can go after and do it. Because just because there's not someone out there like you in those platforms, in those areas, there always has to be the first, right? So you may be that first. And it just takes that confidence to know that in yourself. And I think that that's really what I want people to know me for, is that, I am, a product of, I'm the product of something that wasn't supposed to happen, so yeah.
Oh, that's so beautiful. And you're such a huge inspiration. You have such a beautiful voice. You are so giving, and you are just so full of knowledge, and you have created your own path and a pioneer in the industry.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And luckily, thankfully, people like yourself, Jacqueline, you guys make it easy for, not easy, but you guys make it easier for, myself and other people to share their voice and their opportunity to connect with people that they may not have known or may have not have known of them. And whether it's one person, 2 people, 10 people, one impact can make an impact of 100, right? So you don't know who that one person that you impacted, who they impact. So
yes. No, I'm a huge believer in the ripple effect.
Yes.
Thank you so much. It's been such a pleasure and such an honor.
Thank you for having me on. This has been amazing.
Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for illuminating the world with your presence. Lots of love.
Bye.
Bye. Bye, guys. Thank you for tuning in to Live with Jacqueline Valdez, illuminating the world one voice at a time. Thank you, guys.